Hello, my name is Tarun Agarwal and I am MLM automation expert. In this video, I'm going to share with you some very interesting stuff, and that is podcasting using Kajabi. Okay, so podcast is, you can say, podcast is the next big thing in terms of content marketing to have a deeper connection with your audience. So Kajabi has recently released a new update. Okay, and that is they have come up with a new update, three new products, and one of that is podcasting in Kajabi. Okay, so if you are into online business space, if you're into influencer, and if you are into uh, affiliate marketing, digital marketing, network marketing, digital coaching business, in that case, Kajabi is one tool which can really make your entire business. You can say you can manage your entire business using a single tool. Okay, so go to this website, go to this landing page, dnaclub.in/Kajabi, and there is a latest offer which is rolled out by Kajabi, 3 months of Kajabi at just $99. Okay, so you can go for it. It is very cheap if we compare with any other tool, but in terms of quality, it is truly world class. So let's start with how I have moved my podcast from Buzzsprout to Kajabi, how to create a new podcast using Kajabi. So all these things I'm going to tell you in this short tutorial. Okay. So first of all, let me tell you, my right now my podcast channel is, I have hosted my podcast under Buzzsprout. Okay, so I use Buzzsprout uh, currently. Okay, so if you're using Buzzsprout or Spotify, sorry, Anchor or any other uh, podcast host, what you have to do if you want to move to Kajabi, then what you have to do is, first of all, go to directories. Okay, if this is a Buzzsprout example, directories, and then go to RSS feed, and this is your RSS feed on Buzzsprout. Okay, so just keep this open. Now let's come back to Kajabi. Okay, so log in Kajabi with your admin panel, and then go to products. So under products, you will get a new option called podcast. Okay, podcast. Very exciting, right? So go to this podcast, and then what you have to do is, I have yesterday only I have migrated my podcast from Buzzsprout to Kajabi. So this is already available here. But now what we can do is we can click here on new podcast. Okay, and then click on import podcast. If you already have a podcast, then you can use this link. Okay, imported podcast, and on this, in this field, what we have to do is we just have to copy this RSS feed link from your existing podcast host. Just copy this and you can paste it over here. That's it. And once you paste it over here, rest of the thing, import process, will be done by Kajabi only. So yesterday only I have done it. So I right now I have recently started my journey as a podcaster. So I already have 6 episodes, and this is already available on Kajabi now. I have moved my I have moved from Buzzsprout to Kajabi. Okay. So Buzzsprout is a paid service. Now Kajabi, I am already using this tool to manage my business. Now it is under one roof. Okay, that is Kajabi now. So my all these 6 episodes are migrated. Okay, from Buzzsprout to Kajabi now, and I can go to analytics. Okay, because this is a fresh stuff. So right now there is no impressive count of figures. Okay, here, but yes, you can see this is still in the beta version. I mean, there are more updates coming up here. So from Apple Podcast, 3 people have listened to me on Apple Podcast, one through other sources like desktop, then others like this from different countries, USA and then India. So this is all the analytics I can see. Okay. Similarly, what we can do is we can also what we can do we have to, once we import our podcast from any other service like Buzzsprout to Kajabi, then what we have to do is, in Kajabi, then we have to click on distribution. Okay, and you just have to connect Apple Podcast, Spotify, and Google Podcast with uh, this Kajabi. Okay, so what I have done is to connect Apple Podcast. Okay, this is one time activity. I have gone to Apple Podcast Connect. You can search here. Okay, Apple Podcast Connect, and this is the link which I got, Apple Podcast Connect. So this is a service by Apple. So next time, once I connect my Kajabi podcast with Apple Podcast, and whenever I upload a new episode in Kajabi, it will automatically sync with Apple Podcast also. Okay, so that's a beauty. So I'm now logging in through my Apple Podcast. Okay, Just give me a moment. So let me use this verification code, resend code. Okay. Let me use text me. Okay, so this way, this is a procedure which we have to do to verify. Okay, the same way we have to do with Spotify. So I'm just giving you an example with Apple Podcast. Okay, so this is Apple Podcast Connect screen. And then in Kajabi, what I have to do is I just have to copy. Okay, I just have to copy a link. Okay, it will give you proper instructions. Like example, it will give you, if you click on learn mode. So Kajabi will give you an option like what you have to do. You just have to copy this RSS feed and you have to paste in Apple Podcast Connect. Okay, I've already done it, so that's why it is showing me published. Okay, it is showing me published. Else, what I have to do, I just have to edit this. Okay, I will click on edit and then I will just paste the link. Okay, this podcast link which I will get from Kajabi when I click here. Okay, this kind of link. This is for Google. Same way we have to do with Apple. And then what we have to do here in Apple Podcast, we just once we edit this RSS feed, then it will ask us to verify our email. That's it. So you will get a one-time password on your email and you just have to verify it. Okay, and later on you just have to copy this Apple podcast URL and you have to paste it there in your Kajabi link. Okay, so this is the way how you can connect your Apple Podcast, Google Podcast, and also Spotify with your Kajabi URL. Okay, your Kajabi account. So once this is done, next time whenever you upload a new episode, a new you can say audio file. Okay, so just click here in Kajabi, click here on new episode, and just upload a file, an audio file, MP3 file here, and it will be auto distributed to Apple Podcast, Google Podcast, and Spotify. Okay, so this is very easy. Yeah, so this way, so this is episode title, and then I just have to upload an audio file and click on add episode. So this will be added to my podcast directory. Okay, got it. So this is the one thing, and another thing is if you are starting podcasts right from the beginning. Okay, you are a starter. In that case, click on new podcast and then you can click on new. So this I'm telling you, this is a free podcast. Okay, new podcast. Okay, and there are two options here: free only, which will be auto distributed to Apple Podcast, Spotify, and Google Podcast. But if you want to charge people to listen to your podcast, and you want to monetize your podcast, in that case you can use this option, sell with offers. So there might be situation where your students or your raving fans, they want to they want certain kind of audio lessons from you, and they want to pay for that to you. In that case you can use this private podcast feature. Okay, and then the same way as in Kajabi, I mean, once you set up your product, and you can ask for the payment using PayPal or credit card, debit card, and once they make the payment, they will get access to your private podcast then. Okay, so you can try out these features, but I'm really very excited to use podcast in Kajabi. Earlier I was using Buzzsprout, and now I'm really very excited to use Kajabi as my podcast host. Okay, so if you're not sure, if you're not into podcasting, that's fine. Okay, just go to this link and try out Kajabi for 3 months, just $99. I'm not sure when you are watching this video, but later on, if you want to find the latest offer, just go to this link and you can find the latest offer which Kajabi is giving at right now. Okay, all the best. If you have any kind of question related to Kajabi or podcast, then you can share in the comment option below, and also in the description section below. What I'm going to do is I'm going to share with you, this is going to be very interesting for you all. I'm going to share with you this link of my podcast. Okay, I'm going to give you my podcast link, so that you can also hear my podcast, how I am doing it. Okay, so yes, connect with me on podcast, and I will see you in the next upcoming video. Okay, all the best. Subscribe the channel.